created by the Federal Ministry of Environment of Old Jebabu, Lorin State, Nigeria, and I am Latifa Ibrahim Aruna. Alima, you're looking king this morning.
Thank you very much.
Like, you are giving all the givable vibes. I'm loving it. So, yeah, with me this morning is a beautiful radio baby girl.
Alima Abdulsalam. Good morning, everybody. How is your day going? And as today is the last day in the month of April. Salary and as alpha now.
Yes, I'll put the drop as an
Abio.
Yeah. So happy Workers' Day in advance in ways.
Yeah, happy Workers' Day in advance.
Yeah, to all the faithful workers, or not those that will go twice or three times in a week.
Like,
yes.
Those of you that used to run, don't think we are greeting you.
We are greeting the faithful.
The ones that are committed to their work.
They are committed.
They are the ones that we are greeting.
So yes. As you already know, I will do it on newspaper review. We'll bring you all from the Nigerian dailies across the newspaper. And the newspaper will have this morning at the Online Royal newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, the Punch newspaper, Leadership newspaper, and the Daily Post newspaper. So stay with us as we take you through the dailies this morning. All right. On the Online Royal newspaper this morning, Nigeria government scraps foreign bilateral scholarship program.
And on the Punch newspaper, Yobe targets 80% vaccination coverage by PDP vows to reclaim Kaduna.
Alright, still on the Online newspaper this morning, FG sets up committee to curb accidents on highways.
And still comes resume Wednesday.
Still on the Online Radio newspaper this morning, Kwara governor meets first-class traditional rulers, sets agenda for security and orders.
Nigeria and Mexico to strengthen trade relations.
Alright, moving away from the Online Radio newspaper this morning, NNPC, military's men sacked in major restructuring.
And, moving to the Daily Post newspaper, Nigerian government declares Thursday public holiday for Workers' Day.
Okay, that's good.
Very nice.
I'm still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Nigerian man jailed for $6 million inheritance scam targeting 400 elderly Americans.
Moving to the Leadership newspaper, Presidency denies sack of Defense Power Minister.
I'm going into the Daily Post, just left right now. Popular Nigerian musician King Sunny Ade reportedly missing.
And I am still on the Leadership newspaper. Stakeholders warn against hijack of INEC.
Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Court sentences 5 robbers to death by hanging.
Heading back to the Punch newspaper. Nigerian jailed 14-year-old for drug trafficking in India.
Wow. Still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning. IGP orders reactivation of digital tinted glass permit system, issues deadline. She said, Alright, I'm still on the Daily Post newspaper. I still have a few headlines to go. Coalition's bid to unseat Tinubu faces setback as PDP suffers mass exodus. And still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, only 89 doctors left in Kwara government hospitals amid the Japa crisis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. Still on the Daily Post newspaper and still on the Health Star, Nigerian government assures HIV drug availability amid foreign aid suspension. So stay with us as we take you through the interval of the news. I'll be right back. Welcome. So I'm going to start with the Online Radio newspaper this morning. Nigerian government scraps foreign bilateral scholarship program. The federal government announced on Tuesday the cancellation of the bilateral education agreement scholarship program, describing it as an unsustainable and inefficient use of public funds. The decision followed months of complaints by stranded Nigerian scholars abroad who accuse the government of failing to meet its financial obligations under the scheme, established through diplomatic agreements with countries such as China, Russia, Algeria, Hungary, Morocco, Egypt, and Serbia. The VEA program had allow hundreds of Nigerian students to pursue higher education overseas on government scholarship, despite recent assurance by the federal government that all supplementary allowances had been paid up to December 2024, with further funds requested to cover outstanding entitlements affected by exchange rate fluctuations. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, announced a definitive end to the program. Like, I don't know what Nigerians are using all our money for. I think this is a really good, like, for the Nigerians. What are they giving us? Why would they scrap this, for God's sake?
You see, in this Nigeria, everything is just
It's not they are cheating us, my sister.
It's a matter of
like okay.
Adding to the Punch newspaper, Yobe targets 80% vaccination coverage by 2026. The Yobe state government said it is committed to reaching 80% vaccination coverage by 2026 as its intensiveness effort to close immunization gaps and protect children from vaccine preventable diseases. The State Commissioner of Health, Dr. Muhammad Ghana, who said this yesterday at one-day media dialogue to commemorate the 2025 World Immunization Day in Damaturu, Yobe State noted that the state is implementing strategic actions to reach underserved and vaccine hesitant community. He stated that unvaccinated children pose a public health risk, contributing to repeat outbreak of disease such as cholera and vaccinated polio. So
to think that some doctors don't even allow their children to be vaccinated. Really? Yes.
But I feel like if kids are being vaccinated, they are like protecting them from.
Do you know the meaning of vaccination? It's the real disease that is being introduced to the children, so that when the children come across the disease, any one way or the other, it's already been introduced to their body. It might bring them down, but it will not bring them down the way it will bring them down if they don't already have it in their body. That is what vaccination is. Now imagine children that their parents refuse to get them vaccinated, mingling with children that they've been vaccinated, and that disease hits them. What do you think is going to happen? I don't know. I'm still going to please the parent that you should make sure when from day one until 2 or 3 years old, I think, for the vaccination.
You should ensure that your kids are
take them for vaccination. All right. Away from vaccination, I'm still on the online radio newspaper this morning. Kwara government approves comments for doctors to address workforce reduction and enhance manpower retention in the health sector. The Kwara State government has approved the revised 2024 Consolidated Medical Salary Structure, which is COMEX, for doctors in the state. The Executive Secretary of the Kwara State Hospital Management Board, Dr. Abdulrahman Malik, made this announcement during the first quarter inter-ministerial press briefing held today at the conference room of the Ministry of Finance in Ilorin. Dr. Malik explained that this policy aims to reduce brain drain and encourage medical personnel to return to the state healthcare system. He shared that the vision for the KWHMB is to become a leading provider of high-quality secondary healthcare services throughout the state. The board aspires to create a healthcare system where every citizen has equitable access to timely, effective, and preventive care through innovation, strategic oversight, and a strong sense of accountability. You notice I was smiling when I was reading that, and all these are big English. They are saying it stays in the boardroom where they make all these meetings. Actually, because their healthcare system around me, and I know what is there. All these are big English to do to strategize, to oversight, whatever. All in a lie, they collect their money and they eat it. There is nothing they are strategizing. There is nothing being effective in the healthcare system, the state healthcare system. Anyway, I'm not condemning any state governments or whatever, but yes, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. As long as I'm concerned, there's nothing innovative or renewable, whatever. Nothing.
Okay, so, Still on the Punch newspaper, PDP vows to reclaim Kaduna. The
Okay.
chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna State, Chief Edward Marshall, says the party is on course to reclaim power in the state, citing increased dissatisfaction with the ruling All Progressive Congress and growing public support for the PDP's alternative vision. Marshall, in a statement today, said since assuming leadership of the party 6 months ago, his administration has prioritized reconciliation, party cohesion, and grassroots engagement. He said ongoing consultation with critical stakeholders have helped to reposition the PDP as viable opposition, force and beacon of hope for citizens. According to him, the party has recorded significant progress despite challenges. Marshall also acknowledged the wave of defection that saw some elected officials and stakeholders defeat to the APC, but said the PDP remains resolute and united. So it means that with this, by 2027, PDP vows to reclaim Kaduna.
I don't know.
Should the present government, like the present ruling party, should they be scared after hearing this, or should they
I don't think
double up their?
Of course, they have to double up their hustle and all, but I don't know these people's problem. We have a lot of problems, security problems in Nigeria, but the only thing they are after these days is just the 2027. Are they even sure they are going to get to that 2027 they are alive or healthy? I don't know.
May God help us all.
Yes, so spare our lives till then and beyond. I don't know. I don't even like talking about Nigerian politics. It's really annoying and
Always.
always. All right, I'm still on the online radio newspaper this morning. Kwara governor meets first-class traditional rulers, sets agenda for security and orders. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrahman yesterday held a meeting with first-class traditional rulers in the state to discuss different state matters, including security. The meeting focused on socio-economic development and improved security of lives and properties. He said the government is taking a multi-agency approach to bring more development, strength, security in the state, and curtail the activities of cross-border violence, non-state actors fleeing from the neighboring Kainji Park and other military campaigns. He said the government has approved a deeper involvement of local hands in grassroots security architecture. We thank you for what you have been doing, and we need your Royal Highnesses to talk to our people on the efforts all of us must make to protect our communities from being infiltrated. The governor called for improved social support for the security agencies to better safeguard lives and properties, including offering actionable intelligence. Okay,
that's a very, very nice step.
I like the move as well.
Nice move. I'm telling you,
I pray,
because I feel like if the governor up there cannot see through what is going on
the
on the grassroots, so he needs to talk to these people, let them communicate, let me know how it's going in your community. Is it that this is how the security is going, this is how I feel like it's nice when he talks to them, he gets to hear their point of view and he gets to know where they are,
and it will not be like it's just one doing it and pushing everything. Yes, so yeah, I love the move as well.
I'm still on the Punch newspaper. MTN Kogi ends dispute, telecom resumes today. Okay, the telecommunication service disrupt in Kogi State are expected to resume today following a resolution of the dispute between MTN Nigeria and the state government. The Association of Licensed Telecom Operators of Nigeria has said the chairman of the Alton, Benga Adebayo, told newsmen yesterday that the issues that led to the shutdown of telecom masts in the state, primarily affecting MTN, had been addressed, paving the way for service restoration. The shutdown stemmed for a compliance dispute between MTN and the Kogi State Utility Infrastructure Management and Compliance Agency, which assured the telecom giant of violating operational rules and under declaring the extent of its option fiber network coverage in the state. So you mean to tell me that all this while the people of Kogi State have not been using MTN network?
It's not just MTN network that is in Nigeria now.
No, like I'm just saying. I mean, MTN is like literally everywhere. Almost. Let's say out of 100% of Nigerian citizens, let's say like 80% owns MTN SIM.
Yeah, of course they own it, but you cannot say they are active users.
But still, yet, if the whole of Kogi State, let's say they would have, if not at all, they will have like 50% of people using MTN SIM.
Or 40.
So you mean those 40%, they've been having issues with their network? Oh my God. Thank God for them. MTN net has SIM starting from now.
Okay, away from MTN SIM. Still on the online royal newspaper this morning, FG sets up committee to curb accidents on highways. The federal government has set up a special committee on the prevention of recurring incidents of the road accidents involving trailer and tanker drivers on critical section of the nation's highways. The Minister of Transportation, Senator Said Al-Khali, while speaking during a strategic meeting with stakeholders who made up the committee, explained that the step is toward addressing the frequent incidents of road accidents in the country. This is as Senator Al-Khali underscored the urgency of tackling the persistent issue, which has resulted in the tragic loss of lives and properties, and gave the committee 1 week to come up with the report. You see, this until the day the federal government stop all these tanker and all these big cars to stop moving on the road that all these small cars are moving, I don't think this is going to work, because if you travel up north, if you have ever traveled,
if you are going to Lagos, around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, if you see the way trailers, sometimes a trailer will be like this, and then a trailer will be like this. Your bus is going to be in the middle. In between. And if you are not careful, if they are the kind of bad people that have bad mindset, do you know they can just crush somebody that is in between the two of them? Kind of journeys I feel like all these tankers, they should make sure they don't travel in the morning or afternoon. They are just allowed to travel in the midnight. So if you are a small car owner and you travel in the midnight, you're on your own. No, anything they do to you. If they can even try and just say this is a road that is
Nigeria cannot do that. Don't even say it. Nigeria will never do that. They don't do what they are supposed to do. Don't even waste your time saying that. I just feel like they should stop them from moving around.
They should just tell them to move in the morning
and in the afternoon, just in the midnight. And when it's daybreak, they should park wherever they are and then they start moving in the night. Or else lives and properties get wasted.
Did you see the accident that happened at Agege the other day, where a big truck fell from the bridge?
What are you even talking about again? There's one that happened here in Ilorin. Do you know the bank that is at before you enter that place, the selfish was on Isalioja or what? That trailer was packing load. I think it brought the load for them in, but if it fell, it was in the midnight. Thank God it was in the midnight. If that had happened in the afternoon,
do you know the number of lives that would have gone?
So yeah, I think it's almost time. It's time already for them to make that law for them to only travel in the midnight as and at night. God save us.
I am still in the Punch newspaper. Nigeria and Mexico to strengthen trade relations. The Mexican embassy in Nigeria yesterday inaugurated the Nigerian-Mexico Chamber of Commerce and its new board of directors to boost trade relations between the two countries. Ambassador Alfredo Marinda, ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria, during the ceremony in Abuja, described NMCC as a new chapter in the economic, cultural, and strategic relations between the two nations. He stated that NMCC would bridge businesses, ideas, innovations, and opportunities between Nigeria and Mexico as two countries rich in heritage, resilient in spirit, and bold in ambition. According to him, the NMCC will serve as a crystal and provide critical support to businesses both from countries, promote trade and investment, offer market intelligence, and foster mutual understanding.
I hope so.
This is a step ahead for Nigeria.
It is, and I hope so. I hope it's so, because most of these news, they're just on paper, so they just actually actualize them.
You get
Most of them. Our time is fast spent, so I'm going to take one more. I think you should take one more as well.
okay.
But we have a lot of news, so if you want to read any of those headlines, you can pick any of those newspaper and go through them. So lastly, on this morning newspaper review on Emirate Radio, only 9 doctors left in Kwara's government hospitals amid Japa crisis, says a health board. Kwara said government has, within the first quarter of this year, spent 1.5 billion naira to relieve the less privileged citizens of hardship and promote economic activities in the state. The government is also working on how to mitigate the effects of the Japa syndrome on the health sector in the state, where it has recorded a dearth of medical doctors and trained nurses. Acting manager of the State Social Investment Program, Kwasip Olayinka Tejini, disclosed that this was achieved through the government's social investments program floated to aid the youth, the less privileged, and the vulnerable in the state. Speaking at the state's inter-ministerial press briefing for the first quarter of 2025 yesterday, Tejini said Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrahman floated the program in 2019, and that since then the program has improved the lot of many people and boosted the economy of the state. He explained that the program was created in 3 major legs, which he said are in form of cash support for the poorest, creation of job opportunities or small-scale enterprise for the youth, and boosting of economy of the state through the promotion of an entrepreneurial society. The Kwasi Post said that within the first quarter of 2025, the government has approved the safety net for both the skilled and underskilled, in which 20,000 people comprising the youth and vulnerable benefited 20,000 naira each. Like, seriously, 20,000 naira? He said that the government had also approved 20,000 naira each for 20,000 petty traders to aid the growth of their trade. I don't know, these people are so shameful. They didn't disclose that within the quarter, the government also organized a household support sum with under the 7,000 household benefits, 100,000 naira each. What are they supposed to use all this money for? Like, all this money are just chump changes. Like, seriously?
I think that's why they stated poorest there.
Poorest, even the poorest, what is that money going to do? What is it going to do in their life? And you're not telling me the doctors and nurses are jamping. If I'm the one, am I going to say in this place that I'm underappreciated? They don't appreciate doctors here. I know I'm in Nigeria and I live in Nigeria, but my sister, they don't appreciate them. They are overworked, underpaid. If I'm the one and I have the opportunity, I'm a nurse or a registered nurse or a doctor, and you expect me to stay in Nigeria where other countries take them like eggs and treat them like
you know,
so.
Doctors are meant to be treated like
egg.
Like egg. Because they will try all of their possible best to ensure that
They are
save patients. These people are trying.
Of course they are trying.
On the Daily Post newspaper, Nigerian government declares Thursday public holiday for Workers' Day.
Okay.
Yay, there is holiday. The federal government has declared Thursday, tomorrow, a public holiday to mark this year's Workers' Day celebration, annual on May 1. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, announced the holiday in a statement issued yesterday. Tunji-Ojo hailed Nigerian workers for their diligence and sacrifice, recognizing their efforts as contributors to the country's internal and external growth. The minister reiterated the need for peace to drive industrialization and economic growth, and urged workers to imbibe the culture of innovation and productivity. The minister also urged workers to raise the bar of their trade, noting that it would improve governance and enable citizens to derive maximum benefit for the nation's wealth and resources. So guys, workers, you know, we've greeted them before.
In advance before.
Workers, happy Workers' Day in advance. It means that there is no office for you people.
Tomorrow,
you get to stay
rest
at home.
No waking up by
but
4 o'clock.
even after staying at home, I feel like parents need a break. Is it that it's only workers that are not going to office and students that are not?
I think pupils are going to go to school because some private school don't offer these worker days or holiday. So I think some private schools will go to school.
So it means mommy and daddy they get to rest
tomorrow,
no stress,
and enjoy
no
themselves.
disturbance.
Yes, mommy and daddy have fun tomorrow.
Aww.
Yeah. All right, that brings us to the end of newspaper review this morning on Emirate Radio. Thank you for listening. You want to read any of those newspaper or the headlines we read?
You can always check online or go and buy the paper.
All right, thank you for listening and
thank you for always listening. Have a wonderful last day of the month of April.
Yes,
I'm Alima Abdulsalam.
I am Latifa Ibrahim Aruna. Have a good day.